Hello everyone, very warm morning to all of you. The winter is right upon us. We are beginning the month of December. But the heat for clearing the examination begins now. As we move closer and advance into new months, we also get closer to the examination, and therefore the preparation has to now get intense and also more streamlined. So, with our newspaper analysis for the day, this is Kushagra Goyal at The Legal Game, your one-stop solution for all law entrance examinations. So, we are going to talk about the newspaper analysis of December 1. We are going to cover a lot of events, but we will now try to get more and more compressed information out of the analysis. So, before I dive in, I also want to inform all of you that today I am hosting a very important special class which is based on military exercises. Military exercises is one area of topic which is important from your current affairs perspective. It is a complex issue because there is a lot to be noted down in this topic. The class will be held today at 7 p.m. on the Learners app. The link to the class will be given in the description box, so you can check it out there, or you can get the link to the class on my Telegram channel. The class will tell you about all the military exercises that India participates in. We have talked about the Malabar exercise, but beyond that, there are a lot more that need to be covered from our perspective. Those that have happened in the Indian Ocean region, then the ones that have been conducted by our allies, what are the ones that we do along with regional groupings, what are the ones that we are compelled to be part of because we are part of different organizations. So we will be covering all of them. This class, a 90-minute class, will be comprehensive to cover all the military exercises that we have participated throughout the year for your CLAT examination. So make sure that you use my code KUSHGK to get access to this class and don't miss out on it. Okay? Now, let's dive into the newspaper analysis for the day. On the first big news of the headlines is the one on the right hand side. GDP grew 8.4% in quarter 2. This is only quarter 2 figures. This is in comparison to last year's fall of minus 7.3. So there you can say that after a fall, we have had a recovery of 1% this year. Okay? That we are a little above, but at the same time GDP figures of an annual basis are more important. Annual GDP growth rate ही एग्जाम में पूछी जाती है, क्वार्टरली फिगर्स नहीं पूछे जाते. सेकंड बात क्या है इसके अंदर, व्हाट इज द कैच हियर? द सेकंड थिंग दैट नीड्स टू बी कैच्ड अप is the rise in inflation. Across the globe, inflation is on the rise. Prices have almost doubled to what they were prior to COVID. So, अगर आपने मान लीजिए आपकी इनकम पहले 100 रुपए थी, you were doing a business and you had a sale of 100 rupees. Now, in volume, your sale may have increased to 150. But actually, you sold 10 units in 100 and now you're selling 10 units for 150. Okay? But can you say that there is a 50% growth in your income? No. Why? Because the things that you were spending on have also increased. उन चीजों के दाम भी तो बढ़ गए. आपका बिजनेस करने का overall cost has increased. So you have to include the cost of that. Okay? The second thing is the base year effect. Till now, Indian economy uses the base year as 2011-12. 2011-12 के कंपैरिजन में इस साल 8% ग्रोथ देखी गई है. So 8 almost a decade earlier, right? That is the base year right now. So therefore, how realistic this growth is what is questionable about it. However, the government has claimed that, see, we will hit double-digit growth. Very good. Why is growth important? Because the size of the cake matters. Why does the size of the cake matters? This is something that the Prime Minister had himself spoken about in his Mann Ki Baat, that See, we are a growing country, we have a growing population, we have people with aspirations. So the size, the cake here is the GDP of India. The more it increases, the better is the chances of growth in our country, the better will be the lifestyle of people here, right? Therefore this size of the cake is very, very important for us. So we need to record at least 8 to 10% growth rate every year to actually eliminate poverty. The maximum number of poor that we have eliminated in the past has been in the years when we have recorded a consistent growth rate of 8%. We have not yet reached that since 2013 onwards. 2013 के बाद से ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ. इस वजह से the size of the cake and the growth rate of the increase in size of that cake matters for us. GDP क्या होती है? GDP is gross domestic product. That is sale and purchase of all the goods and services in the economy in a quarter. 3 महीनों के अंदर उन सब का लेखा जोखा. Okay, that is GDP, right? Next thing we move on is on the left hand side. Apologize if you want to return to Rajya Sabha. Piyush Goyal to 12 MPs. 12 member of parliament have been suspended for violation of decorum of the house. So that is parliamentary proceeding. This is posturing. No action has been taken in the sense against the officials because the MPs had alleged that they were manhandled, they were not allowed to speak, the allocated time was not allocated to them. So in that regard they were suspended, they had protested, and now they will not be able to participate in the winter session proceeding. इसका ये मतलब भी है कि if the total number of MPs has fallen, the number of MPs that you need for reaching simple majority also comes in favor of the government. 250 की simple majority you need 125. 125 से 12 MPs कम हो गए. All the 12 MPs are from the opposition side. So government's overall numbers in Rajya Sabha will increase, which means they will be able to pass more laws. Okay, then we move on. On the front page, apart from this, nothing of real note. So we come to the editorial section. The editorial section is the one where it is most important for us. The main editorial, a small grant but a big opportunity for local bodies. आप अपने यहाँ की नगर पालिका, or if you are in a village panchayat, ask or think how much they are spending on creating health services in your area. How many government test centers have come up by municipal corporation? हमें लगता है कि municipal corporation का mostly दो ही चीज़ों का काम है, एक सफाई करवाना और दूसरा सीवेज की क्लीनिंग करवाना. But that is why, या फिर सड़कें बनवाना या स्ट्रीट लाइट ठीक करवाना, ये चार कामों के अलावा हम अपने यहाँ की नगर पालिका, नगर निकायों, म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशंस और अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज से ज्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशन ही नहीं करते. वी डोंट एक्सपेक्ट देम टू मूव बियॉन्ड इट. बट दिस इज वन ऑफ द रीजन व्हाई दैट हैज नॉट हैपेंड इज बिकॉज देयर साइज ऑफ द percentage of their revenue is so minimalistic. And this editorial is exactly about that. That the Finance Commission, which is an advisory body, which recommends the government कि हर साल कितना क्या पैसा किसको देना चाहिए under Article 280 of the Constitution, right? They have recommended that overall there should be an increase in spending and approximately 70,000 crores should be released to the urban and village local bodies. Panchayats and urban local bodies should be given 70,000 crores for health केयर सर्विसेज. अभी तक क्या होता है, हेल्थ केयर सर्विसेज की सारी फंडिंग या तो राज्य सरकार से आती है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. दिस आर्टिकल क्लेम्स दैट अंडर 15th Finance Commission Article 220 के अंडर it has been recommended that 70,000 crores will be given to these local bodies. Local bodies were created under article through amendment of the Constitution, the 73rd and the 74th Amendment Act. ठीक है, उससे related this is the news. What will be done over 5 years? 70,000 crores will be given to different bodies. How will it affect them? It will provide them with an increase from spending rupees 25 per person on healthcare to approximately closer to 2000 rupees per person. Abhi tak, since the inception of the idea 25 years ago, abhi tak 25 rupees is what the municipal corporation spends on healthcare services, primary care. Now this can increase to almost 2000 rupees per person, which is far more realistic to the requirement of 4000 rupees per person on healthcare. This is the requirement that we have. All right. So this article states that, see, these are the first steps. अब हमें सबसे important क्या है, हमें दो ही चीजें पता रखनी है, एक तो आर्टिकल नंबर और दूसरी बात क्या, दूसरी is the who will be spending it. So who will be spending? The village panchayats and urban local bodies. All right. What will be the total dispersal to them? 70,000 crores over 5 years. एक साल में नहीं मिलेगा, over 5 years. Okay? 5 years के time period के अंदर ये पैसा दिया जाएगा. Okay? Then we move on to the left hand side. Support, don't pander. Suppression of free speech to yielding to threats has become an unfortunate norm. This one talks about one very important judgment also. What is this judgment? It is the judgment of S. Rangarajan versus P. Jagjeevan Ram. Ideally, if someone threatens you to state कि आप अपने घर से बाहर नहीं निकलोगे, अगर निकलोगे तो मैं आपको मार दूंगा, or if you step out of your house, I will kill you. What will you do? You will go to the police and tell them that, see, this person is threatening me, right? Similar to what Kangana Ranaut or different other actors and actresses do when they get threat or death threats, or they prevent them from working. Let's say someone says, I will not let you go to work because I do not want you to become better in life, right? This is something that Taliban is doing to women in Afghanistan, that you cannot do this work, you cannot do that work, okay? And only male will do this work, and the state is supporting it. So we have criticized the Taliban there. Here, this is the incident of a comedian, that is Munawar Faruqui. For 37 days, he was kept in jail for a joke that he'd never cracked, for a show that never happened. It was merely believed that he would have done something, but for crime, you are persecuted or kept behind bar for an actus reus and not mens rea. हमें difference पता होना चाहिए as students of law, actus reus and mens rea में. Act करने पे crime बनता है, not beforehand, right? So इस वजह से he was kept in jail and then the High Court had to intervene to grant him bail. All the other organizers who have no relation. So मान लीजिए कि I make death threats to ABC person on this platform. YouTube is not telling me to give the threat. Unacademy or no one, my family members, they have not told me to do it. But how can they be responsible? This is what had happened with him when his show was being held. The organizers, everyone else was also kept behind bars. So which has forced different people, one group has threatened that they will not let his show go on. So police has been like, please cancel the show, it will create law and order problem. This is what the editorial is about, that under Article 90 and Article 21, we have the right to freedom and right to life and our profession. He is a comedian. Police is supposed to support rule of law. Rule of law का क्या मतलब है कि कानून के तहत, if he is doing something wrongful, let's say he does a show, he does something wrongful, he states something derogatory, he does something defamatory, then you can hold him liable. The police should do it. The group which believes the content is wrong should go to the police and then tell them to do it. But you cannot cancel someone's show just because there is a perception he could do something, or just because one individual is threatening that I will vandalize the show. Alright, This is what was criticized in the judgment of C. S. Rangarajan versus P. Jagjeevan Ram, that suppressing free speech in response to a threat of demonstration or protest would be tantamount to negation of the rule of law and surrender to blackmail and intimidation. एक लोकतंत्र, एक lawful society does not exist if the law supports those who perpetuate fear in the society. Fear is the antithesis to a democratic fabric. So अगर ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है हमारे देश में, the police has to be responsible to ensure law and order is maintained. They cannot wash their hands off. Alright? For example, different politicians at different point of time have gone to carry out different protests in different areas. And they have been allowed to do it. The police grants them protection to do so. Why? Because those are important events. Right? Just because someone is not equally important, aisa nahi. In our constitution, everyone is equal. So everyone's profession has to be equally protected. So Article 19 and 21 are very important, and that rule of law demands the police to protect your right to free speech and your right to carry out your business professions. Secondly, the state cannot give in to the demands or whims and fancies of groups who threaten them. Alright? It is, even if political bosses are not doing, the state has to intervene to do it. Alright? Then we move on the left hand side. The second one is about Magdalena Andersson. Who is she? She is the first Swedish Prime Minister. She has become the first Swedish women Prime Minister in the history of the House. What is the House of Sweden known as? So, in this regard, this article mentions that how last week she had to resign immediately because one coalition partner had given in. Now, once again, she is back on the House as the leader, right? So, in that regard, the name becomes very important. The party which she represents, which is the Social Democratic Party, that becomes important. Okay. Apart from this, what is the key challenge that she faces? The challenge of moving towards a more sustainable economy. That is the target in front of her. Alright. That is the key step that she has to take. Alright. The name of the Parliament of Sweden is known as Riksdag. Okay. This is the name of the Parliament of Sweden. So ये चीज भी याद रखने की है. Then we move on the right hand side. Afghanistan, the rise of a narco-terrorist state. Narcos, drugs, cocaine, opium, right? So in that regard, as per the report of United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, Afghanistan is now slated to achieve 6,000 tons of opium or narco drugs as production. Taliban, its success, how does it get all the weapons? The money to purchase all these weapons is through this opium trade. So therefore, now as more and more state-sponsored terror, narco trade happens in our neighborhood, it will increase the supply of drugs in the country. And drugs are a slow killer of a country from the inside. America has been fighting them. Different countries have fought against the menace of drugs over time. And trust me, the history tells us that it does not do any good to the society. Opium trade was the killer of the Chinese rulers in the 16th, 17th century. That is what brought down the Chinese Qing dynasty back then. It is similar to what has happened in America during the 1990s and 1980s. The slowdown of economic growth, the rise in inequality in America, all can be traced to the rise of narco terrorism in the country or narco trading in a particular area. So this is what the increased threat for India is. What does it mean? अब अगर हमारे नेबरहुड में एक सरकार है जो नार्को ट्रेड को सपोर्ट करती है, जिसका ओवरऑल फाइनेंसेस डिपेंड्स ऑन नार्को ट्रेड, इवन इफ वी बैन इट, we have to now ensure that we robustly increase our border security to ensure that these drugs do not infiltrate into our border. This is what this article is all about. हमारे लिए सिर्फ United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime is important. Okay? Then we move on. India's informal economy has not shrunk. This is a criticism of the RBI report, which had claimed that 52% of the Indian economy has now shrunk overall to a mere 15 to 20%. कि इनफॉर्मल इकोनॉमी अब भारत की जीडीपी की सिर्फ 15 से 20% है. This is RBI report. Okay, not Government of India, but RBI is a bank of Government of India. So this is a criticism of that. कि this is not true. India's informal economy is still existent. It's just that there is no actual data to quantify it. All right. So this is what it is all about. Nothing to really note in terms of it. Okay. There is a policy discussion about eShram, which is a portal launched by Government of India to register informal workers or migrant workers in the country. Okay. So the name of the portal is the only thing that is important. Then on the right hand side, controlling the crypto genie. What is this crypto genie? The Prime Minister and yesterday our Finance Minister spoke about how we do not yet regulate the indexes that trade it, the stock indexes where cryptocurrencies are traded. We do not regulate how much money people have invested in cryptocurrencies. We have no data about how these cryptocurrencies operate. But the government is planning to bring a bill to regulate them. So this regard, the author states that, see, unless every country does it, it is not possible to totally eliminate cryptocurrency money being used for illegal use, that is drug supply, funding terrorism, because until and unless there is data about everyone, we cannot know where the money is going, because in cryptocurrencies the transaction is hidden. All right. Then apart from this, sharp rise in deaths by suicide because of COVID-19. So in terms of that, this is something on expected lines. All right. Then we move on the other national news. The big news for us is Admiral Hari Kumar is the new naval chief. Okay. Apologies. So he will take over as the 25th chief of the Naval Staff of India. All right. He joined the Navy as part from J Squadron 61 course, National Defence Academy, in 1981. So these are the facts that we need to be aware of. First, that what position he is. So he's 25th. Then when did he join the Navy? In 1981. What squadron did he join? J Squadron 61 course. Okay. Then apart from this, political news. This is a significant news because Basil Rajpaksha is to meet the Prime Minister. We will wait for what this discussion is about. Probably it's going to be assistance towards more food security in Sri Lanka, the new rising crisis there. Okay, the Rajpakshas are much closer to the Chinese. They have single-handedly handed over different infrastructure projects to the Chinese to actually strengthen their own position in the area vis-a-vis the strengthening of Sri Lankan economy. Sri Lankan economy is on the brink of debt, is on the brink of bankruptcy. So it needs to be seen what is done. Okay, then we move on. So here is the statement by our Finance Minister. New crypto will be introduced soon. So we will talk about it when it is finally there. Then apart from this, government appoints 3-member panel to review the EWS quota. 3 weeks time to see. Okay, this panel, which comprises former Finance Secretary Ajay Bhushan Pandey, Member Secretary V.K. Malhotra and Principal Sanjeev Sanyal, they will be coming up with the data about whether the EWS quota, which is for 8 lakh rupees per annum, should that be changed what should be the limit, how the data should be collected to justify it. Okay. Then we move on. 6 lakh Indians have renounced citizenship. So, replying to a statement in the parliament, the government told that 6 lakh Indians have given up the citizenship of India from 2016 to 2020. This is voluntary giving up of the citizenship. Under how do you do it? You do it through signing of Form 2022 under citizenship rules. Okay? For renunciation. Why is this important? For two reasons. One, 7,000 high net individuals, okay, or individuals with high wealth percentage have left India. This is one of the highest exodus in the world after the Chinese, which also reflects one, wealth drain, and two, brain drain out of India. That these individuals either believe that their money is not safe, or they make money in India and then they take this capital outside. So you become rich in India and then you take away the money from away from India. So this is the second problem that is being highlighted. India has the highest exodus in the world. Overall, 35,000 rich Indians have left the country from 2014. Okay. India also has the highest number of migrants. In 2020, the number of people who traveled outside India to find work. All of this shows that either the rich people do not believe that India is the place where they can reach their new height, or second, these individuals do not believe that India is a lucrative place to work, or third, they believe that their wealth is not safe here. Alright, so this is what the brain drain and wealth drain status is. If 6 lakh Indians have renounced citizenship, they have probably gone somewhere. Parag Agarwal, the Twitter CEO, he himself is a Indian-born citizen who renounced its citizenship from India and is now a American citizen, right? So therefore, we have much of these examples of people who achieve the height of their potential not in India but somewhere else. Okay? Then we move on the other national news. In terms of this, on international level, this is political posturing between NATO and Russia, nothing of real importance for us. Okay. Then the news on the right hand side. Pentagon reviews US posture towards China, recognizes China as the largest leading rival in defense for America. That above Russia now, China is the leading threat of USA in terms of everything. This is especially in the area of Indo-Pacific, where US has created two alliances, Quad and AUKUS. Right? So these two alliances, both of them are targeted against the Chinese. Okay? So this posturing has to be told in out and out words. Alright? Then we move on in terms of MI6, which is UK threat list against China, Russia and Iran. Right? So once again, all about this. Then we come to the right hand side. This is updates of what is happening in Ethiopia. In the month of November and October, we have talked about the Ethiopian crisis. What is happening there? The almost civil war. And Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has claimed that he is probably going to lead a victory against TPLF, which is Tigray People Liberation Front. Whether this happens or not needs to be actually seen. Alright. Then we move on. Omicron raises concern over Winter Games. 2022 Winter Olympics are going to happen in China. And Beijing is the host city of the 2022 Winter Olympics. So just like the Tokyo Olympics, which were postponed by a year, and now the Winter Olympics. Will they be postponed? Will they carry on the way they are? All of that needs to be seen. Alright. But as of now, the Chinese claim that they are on course to organizing the Olympics. Okay. Then we move on to the text and context. But before that, about the Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or is the trophy since 1956 organized by France Football. Journalists rank the players across the globe to identify the best footballer of the year. In that regard, this year's award has been given to two players from Barcelona themselves right now. So Lionel Messi, he has won the award for the 7th time now. Till now, his closest rival is Cristiano Ronaldo, who has won 5 of them. Now Lionel Messi has 7 of the Ballon d'Ors. That is, for 7 years in total of his career, he has been the best player of the world. Okay. The Women Award, which was founded in 2018, went to the player from Barcelona, that is Alexia Putellas. Alright. The award ceremony also marks the best goalkeeper, which was given to the Italian goalkeeper Donnarumma. The best striker award was given to Robert Lewandowski, and the best under 21 male player was given to Pedri from Barcelona. Okay, yesterday's quiz that I had taken, I had put out all these questions about the Ballon d'Or. Since 1956 as it happened, the Women Award has only happened since 2018. Alright, from 2018 onwards only it has been added. So this is the information. What club has Lionel Messi represented? Right now he represents the Paris Saint-Germain, which is a club in France. Previous to that, he was representing a club in Spain, that is FC Barcelona. He is an Argentinian footballer. This year he won the Copa America, which is the South American football tournament. Just like we have the Asia Cup in Asia, the Champions League and the Euros in Europe, there is the Copa America in South America. So he won that title with Argentina in the summer. Okay. Then we move on to text and context. The Iran-US deadlock over nuclear capability. This is about the JCPOA, or the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. This was first agreed by Barack Obama when he was the US president. What was it? That Iran will not use its 2 nuclear facilities, that is Nantes and Fordow, for nuclear weapons. That these facilities will only be used to create nuclear energy for peaceful means. It was a way to ensure to prevent further spread of nuclear weapons across the Middle East. This, if for example a Middle Eastern country acquires nuclear weapons, it will demand the rivals of Iran to also possess nuclear weapons, which will push further proliferation of nuclear weapons such as Saudi Arabia, Israel, Iraq, right? So this is to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. So in 2015 this deal was created, but in 2018 Donald Trump, under pressure from his Israeli counterparts, withdrew from the deal unilaterally. Unilaterally matlab without the consultation of his allies. In 2018 he withdrew, and what did they do? They imposed sanctions on Iran, that no one will be allowed to trade. Why did US do it? US did it to actually pressure Iran into a more constricted nuclear program, that limit their nuclear facilities even more. But that has not happened. Why has it not happened? Because Russia and China continue to trade with Iran, continue to purchase oil from Iran. Plus Iran's citizens have endured, that they have accepted that they will struggle with less money for a couple of years, because this is now, they have attached nuclear capability as a part of their self-respect, that if we want to seek respect from different countries, we have to be nuclear capable. So this is what has pushed them to push for nuclear weapons more and more. Now the talks are resuming. whether the deal can be saved or not. The deal has a deadline that this deal is only applicable, that is the 2015 one is only applicable to a certain extent. Will it be extended? What will happen to it is what these talks will be all about. Okay. Then we move on parliamentary scrutiny on the back burner. This is about parliamentary committees and how in terms of number of bills, almost 70 to 80% bills are now no more scrutinized by the parliamentary committees. Most of the bills are passed within a day. In the monsoon session, the bills were passed while there were protests going on in the parliament, protests outside the parliament, absolutely no discussion. Similarly, repeal of farm laws was done in 6 minutes. They were passed in 12 minutes, which shows that, see, if bills are not discussed, their nuances are not identified. This was highlighted by Chief Justice N.V. Ramana recently in a speech. He claimed that, see, because the legislature is not doing its duty of discussion, the aspects of law which then in practice create problem is to be rectified by the court, which is the problem that was highlighted, so which this article is all about. Okay, with this, once again a close reminder for all of you about the special class on military alliances that is today at December 1, 7 p.m. The link to it is in the description box. It will cover all the military exercises of 2021. Okay, then we move on. The notes related to the newspaper and the topics that we have discussed, all of this will be available on the link at KUSHGK notes, bit.ly/KUSHGK notes, and the update about further classes will be provided to all of you on my Telegram group. So it's a humble request for all of you to join me. You can press on this link in the description box to go to the Telegram group to get notification about all the information. All right. Lastly, what all do we need to note in today's newspaper? So first, the news about the Ballon d'Or. Okay, Lionel Messi as the winner of the Ballon d'Or. Then the female Ballon d'Or, which came into existence 2018. Barcelona female footballer Putellas, she has won the award for the first time. Lionel Messi has won this award for the 7th time. The best striker is Robert Lewandowski. The best under 21 player is Pedri from Barcelona. And then the best goalkeeper for the year has gone to Donnarumma. Uske baad, then the best club award has been given to Chelsea. Then the next thing to be noted down in today's newspaper was the GDP data. What is the GDP data? The GDP data for Q2 came out. We have recorded a 8.4% growth rate. GDP is the sum of all goods and services sold and accounted for in 3 months in a quarterly data. Then the editorial about dispersal of 70,000 crore rupees. Okay, this 70,000 crore will be dispersed under a scheme suggested by the 15th Finance Commission. Finance Commission is an advisory body under Article 280 of the Indian Constitution. Then the data about the new naval chief. Okay, the new naval chief who is from the J Squadron of 1981 NDA batch. And the last and most important one is the renunciation of citizenship by individuals. In that regard, the news is that almost 7,000 Indians have given up, high net worth individuals who have given up, and a total of 6 lakh Indians have given up citizenship in the past 5 years. These people are going somewhere. They do not either believe in India. This is reflecting of wealth drain and brain drain out of India. Okay, with that, quick reminder, do enroll yourself for the 7 p.m. class for military alliances. Very important topic, so don't miss out on it. And these special classes of Unacademy are totally free of cost. You can ask your questions in these classes. You can raise your hand and participate in these classes. You can register yourself and enroll so that you get a notification the moment class goes live. The notes of these classes are available instantly after the class gets over. Plus, you can watch these classes again and again at any point of time. If, for example, there is a point that you missed out, you can watch the class again. Lastly, Unacademy also runs dedicated batches for students, wherein you are able to cover all your syllabus for the examination without much worry. How do you do it? You subscribe to dedicated batches of Unacademy, which give you access to national level mock tests, sectional tests, plus unlimited quizzes. This will ensure that you are not only consuming content but also actively participating in it. To do that, all you have to do is subscribe to Unacademy. You can take a 6-month subscription, which will give you access to the platform for your CLAT 2022. For students, for CLAT 2023, they should take a 12-month subscription, and you will be able to gain maximum discounts by using my code KUSSGK, which will be eligible for an additional 10% discount. So make sure that you use that. There are 2 new batches coming up, and these tests which are completely free of cost, which is the weekly T20 test and the Unacademy Law Aptitude test. The batch for 2023 aspirants starts on December 3. It is known as NLU Stalwarts, taught by prior alumni of NLUs, and then Ignite batch for CLAT 2022 aspirants, which is a 6-month batch. So on this note, I will take your leave. Any doubts that you have about any topics, put them in the comment section of this video. I will respond to these doubts tomorrow, that is on December 2nd. On that note, if you like this analysis, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And if you're new to the channel, do subscribe to it and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the updates. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow.